Relentless, don't wanna test us. We ball hard, wanna run with the best. You gon' learn your lesson. Better spread it.
Welcome to the Relentless Podcast. I'm Darnell Haney, head coach at the great Jacksonville University, home of the Relentless Women's Basketball Program. I'm joined today by Coach Kenny Brooks, head coach at Virginia Tech. Coach Ron Huey, head coach at University of Houston. Coach David Six, head coach at Hampton University. And Coach Q, Quentin Hillsman, head coach at Syracuse University. Fellas, thanks for being on. We start on the heels of the Breonna Taylor wanton endangerment ruling, and hearts are heavy, and we got players whose hearts are heavy. The thought that real justice was not served is on the minds of a lot of my team, I know for a fact. What has been the message you guys have sent to your team? We'll start with you, Coach Brooks. What have you talked to your team about, if any?
You know what? It's a very delicate situation, and obviously you're disappointed. And my team's very diverse. And so we hadn't talked about it as a team. We actually I talked to a couple of the kids individually about the situation and, how it affected them, and just trying to educate, because there's so much information out there. There's so much information out there, and you don't know what's true, what's not true before you want to really, advocate for one side or another. You got to be educated on the situation. And, it's just, it's funny. I just finished watching a documentary, The Social Dilemma. I don't know if you guys have seen that. And it's talking about information and how they put that information out there for you to, some of it's good, some of it's fake. But for me, we have some kids that are just more of activists, or not activists, but they're more aware of those situations. We talked about it, and we talked about, just the pain. They've handled it tremendously for me. So, it's just disheartening, but, it's just the times we're living in is very, very sad. But our kids have handled it well, and I've been very, very proud of them.
Good. Coach Six.
It's disheartening because whether, they say they had probable cause to use deadly force or whatever. The reality is that somebody lost their daughter, somebody lost their sister, and this young lady had nothing to do with it. And what I don't understand is this, when you go out in the street and I know, like in New York, they don't like to have high-speed chases because a civilian can get hurt or something like that, and they don't like to, they use as much caution as possible to prevent loss of life to civilians. This girl was a civilian in the whole thing, and I think that what gets lost in it is that she had nothing to do with it, and clearly it was shoddy police work at the very least. Going into the wrong house. Even if it was, I saw on the news where they said that it was a low level. They thought it was a low level drug dealer. You can get him in the daytime. You don't have to go to their house at night and bang on their door. So it's just disheartening that at the end of the day, somebody had to lose a daughter. And we where we are in society because of that.
Right, I got it. Coach Q?
I'm like really fucking angry. I'm sorry about that.
It's all good.
We were off, so there might have been a good thing for me. For my team to be off. It's at what point, does it become like, this is just wrong. So we ain't got to be doing all these news briefings. We ain't got to be doing all these press conferences. We ain't got to be doing all this stuff. Because you know what happens when we do something wrong? They come knock us in the head and drag us to jail. There ain't no press conference. I want you to tell me one time you've seen a black man or a black female have a press conference to get arrested. I've not seen one.
Right.
So for me, you know, it's been through this whole thing, man, through all these tragic murders of black males, and now, you know, and obviously Breonna Taylor. I've just been so angry, man. I've been trying not to jump out there and say something that's gonna be detrimental to the cause.
Right.
You know, when you're going up in the inner city, you know, you live by a different creed. Mm-hmm. And right now, I don't think it's probably the best time to live by that creed. So I've kind of just kept quiet because I'm angry. We have practice tomorrow, and you know, I will open the floor for some time for if they want to speak on it. But I try not to just initiate the conversation. I try to open the floor and let them initiate it for whatever they want. I'm like Kenny, you know, we're very diverse. We have kids from 5 countries on our team, and a lot of them just really just don't understand or know what's going on. You know, like, you know, one time I was talking to Tiana about it, and she was like, I can't relate to this. And I wish I couldn't relate to it. You know what I'm saying? But I can. Right. So I'm kind of like Kenny, you know, we're so diverse, and I'm just not in a good place to have a conversation about it, simply, you know, to be simple.
I got you. Coach Huey?
Well, we give them a forum. We're talking about it, man. We're talking about it twice a week. Mm-hmm. You know, the one thing I try to always do with my kids is make sure they have a voice. You know, I'll put all kinds of examples of them. You know, when they get in the workforce, you're going to do the same job as a male, and he's going to be paid more than you. And you're going to be like, well, we do the same job and the same thing and things like that. So again, we're preparing them to having a voice, to always be like my grandmother said, you have to be twice as better. And so the thing that my kids keep bringing up is, because 2 of them I have knew George Floyd and George Floyd families connected to them, because, you know, we got local kids. So it hits home with them. And so we actually have to have these opportunities to talk about it. I'm really proud because I have 2 that are almost at the militant stage, and the other ones are still trying to find their voice. Mm-hmm. So we're guiding them right now to be able to understand using their platform and things like that, because, you know, we have people attacking our kids on Twitter, you know, about the things that they say about the social injustice that's being happening. So again, we happen to grab those messages, send it to our athletic director, and our senior women's administrator, and try to let them handle it. You know, because again, at the end of the day, if those people reveal themselves, I'm at that damn point to where, you know, like you said, it's almost where you want to take it to the street, which you can't do that, but you have so much anger inside, and I have to let the kids know emotionally, there's a way to be able to handle it so your emotions can't take over. You have to be able to put those aside to be able to do the educated thing about that. But we do it on Mondays, and tomorrow at noon, we're doing it again so we can be able to get it out and be able to talk about it. Because if I don't, I'm afraid that somebody's going to do or say something that's going to put them in a different box. And now we're going to have some other choices to be able to make. But I am simply proud of them because, again, at the end of the day, they're listening to me, and they're having an opportunity to do it the way we're asking them to do as an athletic department and myself. And I'm very, very proud of them about that.
That's good. That's good.
I want to say something though on the flip side of that. Mm-hmm. What you're saying, Huey, is right on the money. And what I can tell y'all is that our athletic department they're unbelievably active in all this. So it's also put me in a position where they, you know, our student athletes can interact with the other sports and not to have these private, if you will, conversations. They can have them as a department and as a unit and with some unity. So that's been good for me, Huey, because I'm at the militant state, so I'm not in a good state right now. Yeah. I'm not good. I'm not good.
Hey, let me ask you guys one thing real quick.
Go ahead.
I find it very interesting that the Michael Brown case, the cases where the grand jury that doesn't indict Breonna Taylor or whatever, I find it interesting that most of the time it's because the police officer feared for his life, or that's what they say. Right. And don't get me wrong, I know right from wrong and all that, but how come when we fear for our lives, we can't defend ourselves?
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, what makes it different on one side than the other? And I'm not advocating violence by no stretch of the imagination, but the fear when you stopped by a police officer is real. You don't fear for your life any less than they do. So I'm just disappointed in the system completely.
That whole operation was doomed from the beginning. When
Yes.
when you can have a no knock warrant.
Yep.
Kentucky also operates under the what's the law that you get to defend yourself in your home.
Stand your ground.
Stand your ground. Stand your ground. Okay, so they bust up in the house. He's standing his ground. Shots are fired.
Exactly. That's the point I'm trying to make.
I mean, that operation was doomed from the beginning. Now they changed the law, but it just goes to show you that we're at a disadvantage. A lot of different times. But
if you knock on my door and I'm fearful, and I shoot at you,
and I'm allowed.
I go to jail though.
You don't knock on my door now.
Right.
You don't knock on my door.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, D, I know you probably did a lot of wonderful things with your group too, but man, it's just my frustration. My frustration is all over the place. I think we got to have a plan because we are angry and rightfully so.
No question.
But I wish we had a plan, and I really wish we had like a leader. Obviously, I don't know if you follow one person, but like a Barack Obama. I don't somebody that could really bring us together.
Yeah.
Because this thing is not going to happen tomorrow, and we can't expect for it to happen tomorrow. It's got to be incrementally that it's going to happen, in my opinion.
As opposed to having somebody that's divisive, who's separating us.
Yes.
Right. I think, and you look at a lot of different other cultures. A lot of other cultures, some other cultures don't have a quote unquote leader, right? But they come together better than anybody ever, right? I think one of the issues that we have is we don't do things like this enough, where we come together and come up with a plan together. Like this right here is trying to divide us, and then we don't do enough of this to come up with a plan to get this thing done together. It seems to even separate us even more. And I think that's one of the big pieces too. We got to find a way to do this thing together. Black male, black female, do it together. And I think if we can do that, it'll help us devise a plan to just do better. And one of the plans, and they talk, we need to vote and we need to do that, but we also need to make sure that we are, I want to say, making a decision to just come together and get things done, right? I think that's one of the biggest pieces.
Yeah, the thing that really got me though was, when they knew the verdict was getting ready to come down, they 24, 48 hours out. Now they boarding up windows and they setting up barricades and they closing down streets and they doing all of this stuff because they already knew they wasn't gonna be for us. They already knew it. They already had the plan. So it's almost like we come into a game and they already on second base, third base, and get ready to steal home, and we just showed up to the field. We ain't even got off the bus. We ain't even got our chance to get to the plate yet. We ain't even get a chance to talk to our team to get out there, and they already down the street. They already set up. And I mean, that's the kind of thing that already, our kids were already going crazy because why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? And so they already knew, and that's the thing that really, really started to stick at home with me because, again, it's like they're on their own plan and forget y'all until y'all unite and get together and do what y'all need to do. We're going to hold y'all right there.
And that's why, I think we really need a plan. Like, again, I watched that show. If y'all haven't seen A Social Dilemma, that thing is, it'll open your eyes up. And they talked about how Russia and, China, that they're influencing us by the social media, and they're causing unrest, in the Black community. And they're starting to put stuff out there. So we're getting divisive and fighting each other and being loud and being angry. And then we're not able to accomplish a lot of things. That's where we got to come together, man. We're smarter than that. Like the whole thing that they put out yesterday or 2 days ago, hashtag burn Louisville. okay, that's just trying to make us look like we're going out and tearing up the city,
Exactly.
you know. And you know what? None of us probably made the hashtag. All right, none of us made the hashtag, but now all of a sudden, because we are angry and rightfully so, now we're going to go out, and there's going to be some who are going to go out and be disruptive, you know, but it's not a representation of all of us.
But Donnell, what you said about culture, you know, we're a culture whose worth is based on your socioeconomic background. In other countries, everybody might be in the same boat.
Yes.
You know, our sense of worth is how much you have, or whether you have the most, or whether you're the biggest, or whether you know, like I told you a couple of episodes ago, you know, there's a guy, David Williams. He's the director of public health at Harvard. He said that he said that you can tell a black man's life expectancy more by his zip code than his genetic code.
Yeah.
That's terrible. That's terrible. And so we see people, the people who have the most, they get the most. You know, that's just the way it is. You know, and it's systemic across the board. And until we find a way, like Kenny said, until we find a way to change that, we're gonna struggle. It's gonna be able to be divisive, because what they do is they say, "Listen, we're gonna give you this to say this. We're gonna give you this to say this." You know, I hear some people say, "Well, he's not your regular black guy." Well, what does that mean?
Right.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Right.
Yeah, so they're able to divide us by you know what we have, and is it mostly money?
Guys, let me say this. It's funny because I was thinking we're talking about, you know, voting now, how you can mail them in and do all this kind of stuff, you know, and everything is about the mail. And I thought about this, and I grew up in Southeast DC and PG County. Dog, I can't tell you where 3 mailboxes are in my neighborhood.
Right.
Or 3 places where I can buy a stamp. So you're talking about mailing in votes? We don't have mailboxes in our neighborhood. That was real rap. I thought about, I said, if I had to mail something from my house in PG County, I would have to go like to a blue mailbox on the corner. I would have to go about 10 minutes driving. So that's kind of fool's gold too.
Right.
I mean, you think about it, how many people go take their WIC card and go and buy a stamp?
I just think they're trying to get people not to vote.
No. It's no question. And they're tricking us saying, "Oh no, you can mail it in." We ain't got no mailboxes in my neighborhood, dog, so I can't mail it in either.
I ain't got none in mine either. We got to
think about it. But you know what though? I'm gonna be real. But where I live now, it's a mailbox every half mile. I can walk to 4 mailboxes in less than 5 minutes where I live right now. Where I live in PG County, I can't drive to a mailbox in 10 minutes.
Yeah, man. D, here's another question, man.
Yeah, we got to move, man. We got to move. All right, because this will make me even more angry. Coach Huey, let's go to some basketball, man. We're getting in the thick of things, boss, and I want you to talk about scouting. How do you approach a scout from start to finish, boss? And because I know you have a big emphasis on you have a hands-on piece in the scouting. How do you approach it from start to finish, and just put it in a nutshell for me?
You know, I do every scout. You know, that's why I try to tell my assistants, y'all do every third one, I do every one. You know,
right.
So just get them to understand that part. And I love what they do and what they bring to the table, because they put the emphasis on, you know, their game. But we start out with a pre-scout first. It's the usage of, you know, the top 3 players on the opposite team, where they make their shots from, how much they're being used, those kind of things. So I get that from my video guy before I even get into the scout, but I watch it 3 times, and you know, it might be my OCD or whatever it is, but the first time I just watch it just for game flow. And I think that comes from Coach Stringer, you know, because again, you have to get game flow or side out of bounds stuff, what time of the game they did this kind of set, those kind of things like that. Second time, I go through all the offensive stuff, you know, everything they did and how we can try to take things away. Then I go defensively, how they kind of take things away like that. And then I start to break things down from there based on our system. You know, so ball screens, what do we want to do with that? Full court, if they pushing the ball fast, how can we slow them down or be able to disrupt them on that end? Sideline out of bounds, what's the key they trying to do and where they're trying to go with it? So how can we take that away and disrupt that? Same thing with baseline out of bounds. From there, we started looking at the personnel. I'm not a person that want to, you know, push you left, push you right, all that kind of stuff there. We just want to get you out of the middle of the floor. Just saying, if we take away ball reversal on this set, what can they go to there? That's why I love watching y'all, Kenny and Q, and, you know, Q them rescreen all the time. You know, when you get them to take one thing away, they rescreen, and it's an automatic stuff. You know, like I was talking about earlier, a few weeks ago, Kenny them running underneath, you know, crossing underneath in transition. How will we guard that when I don't want to switch? I want to keep my person on my person, you know, but then I came up with, okay, if we do have to switch, the person defensively who's the weaker person that's guarding one of Kenny's best players, now she has to go in the no catch, face guard on that possession because we don't want you guarding her. You know, so we get into things like that through the scouting part of it. And it's funny you said that and asked me that question because I called Al Brown today and left a message just to ask him, could he go through some scouting stuff for me just because I want to get better. My next call is Bob Starkey, you know, just to, because I'm trying to see what else I could be able to get and pick up and that kind of stuff. And I know, you know, those guys hadn't been, you know, one of the greatest recruiters or anything, but they put so much in the scouting, so much in the post-game scouts, so much in, you know, all that kind of stuff that I'm trying to pick up one or two things. Vaughn's my other one. We already talked.
Don't call us, bro. We busy.
We already talked. Vaughn said he gonna take me through it anyway. He had already explained to me about doing the, you know, the guard scout and the post scout. So he had already told me that. But again, just trying to pick it all up, man, and be able to share it with my assistants. That's the one thing that I want to do so we can help the family grow. But we put a lot of time into going through those 2 days, and then we break it down with the kids. We try to make it a 3-day prep if we can, you know, just doing personnel one day, then coming back doing offense, then the last day doing defense, you know.
Right.
But we want to try to do that as much as possible and give the kids just the cues that we need to do. So like I told you, for shoot around, we're not going through 7, 8, 9 sets. You know, we take the 4 or 5 different things that's difficult for us to go over, and then we go from there. But we try to get our kids to understand exactly that being simplified with us is the best thing.
Got it.
I like that, Huey. No, I like that when you talk about I'm actually taking some notes. No catch kids. I don't think that at our level that we do enough. Well, at least I won't say that. I don't talk about me. Yeah. That's huge. If you're switching stuff and you got somebody who you know you can't guard her, don't let her catch you. You ain't got to guard her.
Exactly.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
Write that down so I don't forget that.
Yeah.
I like that. No catch kids, man.
Yeah, man. So
that's how I was when I played. I was a no catch guy.
Yeah, man.
If I caught it, I was getting a bucket. So you know.
Yeah, we can't let Q and Kenny come off and shoot that thing, man.
Catch it. If I catch it, man, you might as well start calling your offense coach.
Exactly. And the thing that's so great, our kids start to understand who's the weak link, so they know. Okay, she's gonna need more help, so we slide a little bit to it. And it's the thing that Coach Ham told me. Coach Ham was like, your post player running out there to go ahead and ice, you know she's going to get baseline because her feet is slow. So that means it should automatically tell your other kids, they already know she's going to get beat, so go ahead and get on over there. It's no guessing game with that. With basketball, it's a whole bunch of guessing games. But that's one of the things that's for sure. And so I was into that from there. So I just try to get better with it every single time.
Got it. Now, Coach Six, you in a league like mine where there's where we play Saturday, Monday. So there's a 1-day prep in between games.
No, it's not a 1-day prep in my league.
No?
in the
No.
MEAC.
Oh.
But not in the Big South. Big South is
South.
Saturday, Tuesday. So I got a
Okay.
whole nother day. You know what I
A
mean?
whole nother day to prep. So talk about that when you were in the MEAC. Talk about how you, when you have a 1 day prep, how you prepare for that.
You know, one of the things that Huey said is so true. You have to be true to yourself and your system, because 1 day prep, you don't have time to go through nonsense.
Nope.
You don't. So you got to rely on, and I like to call it the orchestration of your defense. This happened, we're gonna do this. This happened, we're gonna do this. This happened, we're gonna do this, and we all need to be playing from the same sheet of music. And so, you know, what we do is we might pre-scout. What I do as the head coach, like Coach Huey said, we got to do every scout.
Yep.
You know that. You got to do every scout. Kenny got to do every scout. Q got to do every scout. Yep. But what I try to do is, depending on who I'm playing, you know, now if I'm playing a Goliath like Alabama, North Carolina, or whatever, I got to approach it a little differently. What I do is I go find somebody who plays like me, who played them. And I try to see what little things that I could take from them that were effective against them. Yeah. And I can't run up and down with a Q. I'm not gonna try.
Right.
You know, it's that old adage, you don't put a Clydesdale on the Kentucky Derby, I'm not gonna try to do it. Yep. You know what I mean? So, you know, when you talk about 1 day preps, right, a lot of it had to go during the week, right? And you got to rely on your system, whatever that is. If this happened, we're going to do this. Whatever happens, we're going to do this. We watch a little bit of film, but we're not going to get too in depth into what somebody's doing, because you just played somebody the day before, and you're trying to get your kids some rest, both mentally and physically. So we rely a lot on our system to get us through.
Coach Brooks and Coach Q, let's talk about tournament play. Let's talk ACC tournament play. You could be playing, you might play today, and then you turn around and you play tomorrow, right? And then you might play 3 games in a row. Coach Q, you had some 3 games in a row that you had to play, correct?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about how you approach that. Kind of the same way Coach Six talked about.
Actually, if we know our path, what it possibly could be. Let's say if we playing Virginia Tech, we're playing Kano's guys. We know we play Virginia Tech first, and we could play the Notre Dame or Miami second, something like that. We'll prep for, and normally you have normally that's like a 3 or 4 day window in between end of the season and tournament.
Right.
We will prep for all 3 teams in those 4 days.
Okay.
Wow.
But we'll do it like in station work. So we get 4 baskets. We know Kenny gonna run the 5 out, and they're gonna set that deep corner ball screen. So we do that at 1 basket. You know, the Miami is gonna spread the floor. They gonna punch inside, relocate on the wing. So we do that at 1 basket. Notre Dame gonna run a chin action. So we do that on 1 basket. And then on the 4th basket, we just talk about all counter stuff that we're gonna have to do. So we run it almost like we're in a basketball camp. So now we got 1 basket would be Miami, 1 basket would be Virginia Tech, 1 basket would be Notre Dame, 1 basket would be us, and we rotate every 12 minutes. We do that 12 minutes. We do that for about 48 minutes a day, like 3 to 4 times before we get to the tournament. And then now, the day before we play that first round game, we really buckle in all the way on that team.
Oh wow. That's
so now we've prepped for them all, because see what happens is this, right? You get to the tournament, you play that 7 o'clock game. That game's over. You can't bring your kids back in that film room at 10:30 at night.
No way.
You can't. So we do it all before we get on the road. That's why as soon as I get on the road, I try to call Kenny, take him to dinner so he can't prep, because we done.
hey, call me. I'm saying, hey, I got a bottle of wine. I
got a bottle of wine going up here.
What you say, Coach Brooks? What you got? How do you go about it?
Very, very similar, man. Especially when you get to the tournament, as Q said, we focus on ourselves leading into it. But we look at the opponents that we may play. And just like Q said, we'll break it down in stations. And I like to do it without them knowing that we're doing it. You know?
No, same, Kenny, same.
Yeah.
Facts.
We-
I do say that. I don't tell them, right? Yeah.
Exactly. So we don't tell them what we're doing. They think they're just going through like camp, drill work, getting fresh. And then all of a sudden we got to play Syracuse, and we start going over their action, and they're like, they almost think this feels real familiar because we already worked on it. Because you know how it is. Sometimes when you set them down and you're like, hey, Syracuse gonna run this, they're gonna run this, and then by the fourth thing that you're telling them, they just zoned out. They're like, okay. Well, where are we going tonight? You know, such and such just like my thing on Instagram before I came to practice. They don't know what they're thinking. So if you just get them thinking, acting, and stuff like that, and that's something that we do, because you can't prepare for everybody. And you know, it's funny. You talk about tournament. You talk about tournament demeanor. You know, I've been at what you know some people might call a mid-major, and you know, you've been in a league where it's a one-bid league. You go to that tournament, man. And you like this, you know, like this, you know, when you go to the ACC tournament, you know, there's a lot of teams that probably know they already in, you know, we talked to like Q talked about the time when we beat them. And this was eye-opening to me. Q knew he was in, we beat them. He walked up in my locker room after it was over with, and he was like, oh, time to go home and get ready for the NCAA tournament. You know, so it's like a different type of demeanor and attitude, the way that you go about it. But you know, as far as the prep, we just like to make sure that our kids are ready for it, but not really just throwing one thing at them, because you could be wasting time. You could have, you know, Wake Forest or Syracuse, and you spend so much time on Wake Forest, but then Syracuse beats them, and that's time you know you kind of wasted.
Right, and a lot of it goes. You've been playing all year, right? So you've been playing all year, and a lot of it goes into your principles and the things that you guys have gone over and fixed over the course of the year. And you still work on those things that you may see, but it's going to come natural to them when they come out there and play.
Well, it's just like everybody's been saying, you work on the things really that you feel like will bother you.
No question. And that's what we do. That's what we do in our prep. And we have a one-day prep like the MEAC is. So we play on Saturday and Monday. And sometimes we may be traveling that Sunday. So we might have to come in on Sunday night. We might have to come in on Sunday night and just walk through, give them some just pointers and some things that we need to do to counter, and get out there and go get it. So we've been pretty successful at doing that and going about taking care of business on that aspect. But then you get in some situations to where you want to make sure, like you talked about, you want to rest your kids, right? And you want to make sure that their minds and their body are rested so that they can come out there and perform. And you got to think on the other hand too, the other team got a one-day prep as well.
Exactly.
So both of y'all going at it, right? So it's not like you got an extra or they got an upper hand. Y'all both got to go out, and your principals got to win out. Let's talk Coach Q. The most recently named WNBA MVP, Asia Wilson, was on your path to the NCAA tournament, NCAA final game, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Talk about how you prepared for her, and they had a couple other people. Yeah. Talk about how you guys prepared for that, because they were big, because we played them that year in the NCAA tournament. They were big, they had size, they had a lot of really good players. And talk about how you guys prepared for that.
Well, the biggest thing then is, you know, she has some real specific and particular kill zones, right? Is certain places on the floor where she caught it where we had to hope she missed, right? And there's certain places on the floor where she caught it, we like, you know what, we can live with that shot contested, because she was a great player. So you want to give her any shot, right? But there were certain shots that, you know, we were willing to let her. Well, certain zones we were kind of willing to let her catch it in.
Okay.
When we felt that we could defend her, and on the other end, you know, Don is a defensive minded coach, and we were able to get Asia Wilson guarding Cornelia Fondren, who was started at the point guard for us as a freshman. Right. And we moved into the 4, and Asia Wilson was guarding her, and the other big kid was obviously guarding our 5. So we was able to run some false action and get and get corner ball in a double driving lane and let her get downhill, and that really worked for us well. And I thought that was a key for our success. But it's just hard to prep for her because she's just a tremendous talent. She scores from all three zones pretty much. You know, you can't let her shoot the three. I mean, shoot it. It's kind of like okay, but you can't let her shoot it. But she's a really good player, and now her game is different. Now she can go right and left instead of just one way.
Right, and that year she might have been a freshman that year, huh?
She was I think she might have been there might have been a junior year, sophomore or junior year. I think it was a junior year. Sophomore year. Yep, sophomore year.
Okay. So, but right now, I watched her the other night, and she took the game over.
Oh, right now it's an issue.
Wow.
She ain't 18, buddy.
No. No question.
All right.
Coach Brooks, you put a huge premium on shooting in your program. You talked about that. People forget you've had a multitude of people that can shoot the ball or score the ball in your program. What are some things you do to get them to be better shooters, or are they? I know they're not coming in automatically just knock down shooters like that. What are some things that you guys make sure that you do in your program to make sure that they're either keeping that up or getting better at shooting the basketball?
First and foremost, we shoot a lot in practice. You know, we shoot a lot. I remember I played for Lefty Drizel, and there were some days where I walk out of practice, I'm like, did I take any shots today? And I just always felt empty. Like, you know, okay, then I got to come out and be a shooter. We shoot a lot. You know, we start today shooting. So we do a lot of shooting. Individually, I like to watch kids' shots and help them with their shot. By no means am I a shot doctor, but, you know, we talk to the kids and we know, you know, what their shot looks like, you know, if they're off a little bit here. And, you know, sometimes you give them a little bit of correction, but I think the biggest thing we do, we give them confidence. We give them confidence to shoot it. You know, we talk to them about, you know, what's a good look, where, you know, I brought you here to be a shooter. And, you know, so sometimes we argue with them to shoot. You know, why didn't you shoot that? You know, you got to shoot that, you know? And so when they know that I'm confident in their shot, and as long as we practice it and we talked about it, when you got it, let it fly, let it go. And that gives them a lot of confidence in doing so. So we watch it all day. We work on it. You know, we talk about it, give them confidence. But I think that's the biggest thing, man, is you recruit a shooter, you ain't recruiting her to pump fake. You know, shoot it. Shoot it. You're open, shoot it. You know, shoot it. So I think that's a big key, is that you got to really, if you know they can shoot it, you like the way they shoot it, give them confidence. Give them confidence.
Now, Coach Q, y'all gonna let it fly too now, right?
Yeah.
How much of a practice, let's say you guys are going into a 2-hour practice, how much are you dedicating that to shooting in practice, or are they shooting outside of practice?
We shoot a lot in practice as well. We start every day with a team shooting drill. We do it every day for 15 minutes. That's how we start our practice.
By the way,
every day. So that's so, as a matter of fact, some days we will come in and just shoot and go home, because we always try to start practice with shooting, and a lot of times we try to end it with something that's been competitive in shooting, because that's what we want to do. And what you monitor and what you emphasize is you know, is what your kids believe in and what they're going to execute. So we shoot every day on the start practice, and I'm like Kenny, you know, you can't pass up shots. You know how it is. And I hate when people say it at our level. No, at the women's basketball level, because we're all coach at a high level. You only get one good shot of possession.
Yep.
You better take it, because I always tell our kids, the shot you pass up ends up being a turnover, like 70% of the time.
Now, Coach Six and Coach Huey, you know, I talk to you guys a lot, and then I talk to you guys a lot as well at the ACC level, and then we talk about the mid-major level. One of the differences is that I see, and I don't know if you guys see the same thing, when the ACC is preparing to play teams, right? You can take at our level, you may be able to take 2 or 3 people out of a game, and you may go face guard on her or whatever the case may be, and you can stop them from scoring, right? But all of you guys know, when you get to a high level, it's mano y mano, and it's 5 people on the floor that can make it work, make it go. That's a real problem in scouting, right? So talk about a little bit about Coach Huey. Talk a little bit about how defensively that change you changed up a little bit once you got to Houston, coming from Florida State and Rutgers and Texas.
Yeah, you know, the thing that's different for us is from being in those situations like you talked about, because again, you know, being at Rutgers and we played Q, and that's when he had what's the long lanky one, Q, skinny.
Oh, Nicole Michael.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, every time we're gonna overcrowd her and push her to a side and bring an extra defender.
You guys just fouled her. You guys fouled her.
yeah, exactly. And so they had other
So don't try to act like y'all had this big game plan. You fouled her. They didn't do this, bro.
And so they just had other people grow up and still be able to control the game and play. You know, same thing at Florida State and at Texas as well. So the thing that's different for us now, knowing that going into games, we have this thing that we do every single day where you have to win your one-on-one battles.
Okay.
So offensively and defensively, and it's all around this toughness thing. So we one-on-one like y'all shoot. Y'all shoot. We one-on-one.
Yep.
It's like what Bob Huggins said. We kind of mind, you know.
Yeah.
And we get them to thinking we doing, you working on some footwork stuff here and all that. You just playing one-on-one. You working on this passing drill here to come over and she's gonna attack. You working on one-on-one. That's all it is. So for us, we try to prepare our girls as much as possible to win that one-on-one battle. And the thing that's always key with us, you're the best defender when your person does not catch the ball. And so that's the thing that we try to live on all the time, or making Kenny and Q them catch the ball outside of that kill zone where they want to catch the ball at. Right. So we try to say they got to catch it 3 feet at the NBA 3-point line with their back turned to the basket, and they have to pivot to be able to turn and see it, that kind of stuff. So we want to catch them going away from the basket all the time. But the thing is, like you said, they're going to have better players at the time. So again, it has to be that thing where we have that toughness that get us through. And that's all we talk about all the time. You know, toughest team win, toughest team win, toughest team win. You know, so again, we have to have that little bit of edge to be able to match their little bit more talented kids. That's the way we try to offset that thing.
Got it. Coach Six, we always talk about, and you hear it all the time, we talk about wanting and having, and I think we talked about this a little bit, Coach Huey, gym rats, right? Wanting and having gym rats on your team, the passion to want to play the game. Like if you know, they hooping at the rec at 7, how much of your team is gonna be there? You know what I mean? That's what you're thinking about as you're going into it, right? Talk about some of the true gym rats you've had in your program, Coach Six, and what that did for their careers.
Well, I had a kid. She's coaching at Texas State now. Her name is Jerica Jenkins. She probably was a kid that got the most out of her little body. She was a cancer survivor, so I just think that she saw life differently than the rest of the kids. She was a gym rat. She asked me, what do I need to do to be great? I said, well, you need to be able to break kids down off the dribble. So she would go and work on that. But I used to call her my team's lioness blanket. It was infectious in this respect. If I was pissed off and things didn't go right at practice, I'm notorious for coming in early. If things didn't go right the night before or whatever, I would come in there and I hear the balls bouncing. I look in the gym. She got the entire team being the gym rat. He influenced the whole team to go in there. Hey, y'all, we left. We didn't have it right. And she was a great player for us. She was Hampton University's only AP All-American ever.
What?
Yeah, only AP All-American ever. She single-handedly, we almost upset Kentucky a few years ago in the NCAA tournament. We had one ball handler. That was her. And, you know, they pressed the whole time.
No question.
She went right through them like a little water bug. But she worked on all that stuff all of the time. Pull-ups, 3-point shots. She saw the game well. So, you know, that was the greatest gym rat that I ever had. But her greatest thing was she was able to influence others into going into that gym with her.
Coach Brooks.
And it's imperative to have those kind of kids, man. And I've had a lot of them, and they've gone on to have, you know, tremendous success, and they separated themselves. And but you know, I'll talk about some that I have now. And in this day and age, man, it's hard. The recruiting process is sped up so quick, and they all tell you the same thing. They all say, "I want to play fast," until they get here and they know they got to sprint in order for them to be able to play fast. You know, they say, "I want to be this, I want to be that," until it's time to do it, and they don't want to do it. So the ones who separate themselves are those ones who are gym rats, and they come in a lot of different ways. You know, like Six talked about his kid, you know, and how she'll be able to come in. You know, the way I look at them, I got one that it's in a different package. It's the big 6'6" kid I got. The kid she wants to be a doctor, and just as much as she wants to be a doctor and has a 4.0, she wants to be the best she can be at basketball. So every move that I teach her, she's trying to master it. You know, she'll take it home, she'll watch film. Coach, can we get in the gym? You know, to the point where it exhausts me. You know, but I ask for it. You know, and if she wants it, you know, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to give it to her. Right. You know, so, you know, Coach, can we get a little bit extra? Can you show me this? You know, and kids like that, you know, we'll give them every second we got, as long as they're giving us that energy back. And it's important that you have that kind of kid, because when you're at our level, when I say our level, I'm talking about the college level. I tell them you're all talented. If you weren't, you wouldn't be here. Right? What's going to separate you? What's going to separate you now? Are you going to be tough? You know, or are you going to be that gym rat? And you can't really make it. You got to be it. As a wise man once said, if they bite his puppies, they'll bite his big dog. They got to be. They either don't. They want to be that. They want to be that. You got to have those in order for us to be successful. So we got a few right now. I'm tickled. Yeah, because they're a lot of fun to coach, because you don't have to drag them to get them in there, and you got to have them to be successful, man. Right.
That's right. We've been blessed. We have them, but a lot of the times they want you to get in there with them. They want somebody to get in there with them to just give them that extra push. Just like, you know, my wife has got this Peloton. She's looking at this Peloton because she want that person to root her on and push her on. You know what I mean? So like, just thinking about that, they want that. They want you to be in there with them, but they have that drive. All you got to do is say, you know, I'll be there with you. I'll shoot with you. Let you work on your game, and they'll do it. What about you, Coach Q?
They also want you in there so that you can rebound for them. They don't have an imagination. You tell me, we would always go into the gym. There's nobody in there. That was heaven for us.
No question, right.
And it forced you to make the shot, because if you missed it long the other way.
Cool. Yeah, you got that working. Yeah.
Hey, now they shoot and the ball will bounce and it go right past them. They look at it like, aren't you going to go get it? Hey.
Even if they on the gun, you know how it be in the gun and it go far, they ain't going to put it back in the gun.
You doing the rebound two-step. You rebounded right here.
Yeah.
Right here is where you rebounded.
Right.
I told my kids I don't rebound misses. I only rebound makes.
Right.
I use that one.
Yeah, I would touch no misses, dog, because I don't believe in it. Yeah, but Digna Stradamain, man. I got a kid, man. This kid is in the gym all the time. I'm telling you, man, she's like how Brittany Sykes was in the gym all the time. But Digna's in the gym all the time. And it's funny when you say that, I just started laughing when you started talking about gym rats, because Digna has tricked these jokers into Digna drives the practice, and the three kids that ride with her, they're like, damn, because she get there early, so now they gotta get there too, right? So they now becoming like gym rats by accident because they need a ride, right? So look, I go out there the other day. I get there because we go in the morning, so we go early in the morning. I get there the other day, man. The jokers are there getting after it. I look down there at Camilla, my 6'7" kid, dog. She's laying on the Swiss ball. Swiss ball is like her pillow, and she got towels covered up like she like a blanket. I said, yo, you here? You might work out. She goes, tomorrow. She got hurt. No, she got like another 20 minutes of sleep. Like, I'm not playing this joker. About 2 days later, she started figuring out how to catch the bus from over her apartment. I'm not going with her, dog. But Digna has tricked 3 of the kids into being gym racks, and that's what's great when you got a kid, man, that work hard.
Yep.
And she you know, gets in there, because I told the kid a couple years ago when the kid came, he talking about playing time. I said, don't ask me, you better ask Digna, since she give you some minutes. Don't ask me, you better ask her, because she got all the minutes. I ain't taking none of her minutes. You want to play, ask her, can you have some of her minutes? Yep. She don't foul, she don't get tired, she don't make mistakes. You better ask her.
Exactly.
I can't help you. I can't help you. I told him, she's screwing you over. It ain't me. She's screwing you over. It ain't me. She ain't your friend. She's killing you.
Coach Huey.
Yeah, I had one, Angela Harris. She started out with John Lucas when she was young. And so, you know, John Lucas had all the NBA guys and all that stuff come through, and she was always there, and it just carried over. You know, she just stayed in the gym all the time. Coach Tyler being there, and they want to play all these shooting games, and she always want to shoot it and shoot it and shoot it, and you know, was just always in the gym all the time. You know, I have one now, my freshman Layla Blair. You know, that home court app, man, she got 2,500 more shots than everybody else. She opens up the gym and she closes it. You know, you can set your watch by it, and she's so focused. Her dad took her a couple of weeks ago to the dealership to talk about getting a vehicle. So they went and looked at cars and stuff. And so he called me back and said, Coach, I think you got a good one here. And I said, what you mean? He said, she just told me she didn't want a car. She said, it's going to distract me from my freshman year. And she got her Debo bike and she ride it over to the facility. She put it in the gym and she get her shots up every single morning, man. And so, I mean, Layla is wearing that thing out, man. Layla Blair, man. I mean, like, she's just been so impressive as a freshman with her focus and everything. But she's one that is like wearing it out when you talk about gym rat.
Yeah, you know, I've had a few. This year we have one that's come in, Deshari Graham. She'll go in and she's in the gym early in the morning. She might be in there before we practice. She may be in there late at night. We had Mariah Bates, who would do the same thing. They would get in there. Sharanda Reddick, our all-time leading scorer, she would be in that gym every single night, making sure that she worked on her game. And I share with, there's a book I read called Outliers from Malcolm Gladwell. And Malcolm Gladwell talks about the 10,000 hour rule, right? When you do something for 10,000 hours, you become an expert. Well, I relate it to shots. So if you making that shake three, or you making that rip in the pull up, or you coming off a ball screen, if you've done that 10,000 times, right? And if you made that shot 10,000 times, you're an expert. So that means if you made that catch and shoot three 10,000 times in that corner, you're an expert at that. So 9 times out of 10, when you get it in a game and you've been doing it at game speed, you're gonna knock it down because you got confidence in doing it. So that's what I relate to my team about, being a gym rat and being able to get a lot of repetitions in, because to be quite honest, you're not gonna get those repetitions at the college level and just in practice. It ain't enough time, right? It ain't enough time at all. So getting those repetitions in on your own is going to be huge for all those that want to be great when they get to the college level, or if you're in the college level now, you have to get those repetitions in so that you can be an expert at whatever it is that you do. If you're Jenkins and you need to work on that ball handling, so when you go play against Kentucky, that you can just zip through their press. You want to do that, you got to work on it, and you got to put the hours in, and you got to put the time in to do it. So that's key as well. So
yeah, it's a funny story. I gotta tell this story, man. I remember I had this kid, and I don't want to say her name because she's so much gym rat. She might be watching this, and I don't want to embarrass her. That joke used to be in the gym, playing, like working on a game, and she be talking shit. I'm like, who you talking to? She goes, I'm busting my shadow's ass.
Hey, Nutso. She talking to Nutso.
Right? I was like, man, this kid is crazy, or she is about that work. I said, you talking? She goes, I'm busting my shadow's ass right now.
You got imagination. That's good.
Exactly.
Listen,
you know what? I like that though. Think about
you don't get those kids don't have that.
No, man. Once in a lifetime. I'm like, man, you can shoot whatever you want. Don't
They
tell
don't have
nobody
that
I
no more,
said.
man.
Just let it go.
All right. Now listen, you may need a sheet of paper for this one.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm ready. I've been taking notes all night. I done stole stuff. I gotta get the home court app going. I gotta mark down the finish if your man don't catch it. Right.
Yeah.
No catch rule and all that.
All right, listen.
Go.
You got $25. Okay. Each of you got $25. Okay. You can use no more than $10 on an attribute, right, of a player. You can't use more than 10, right? These are the 4 attributes, and tell me how you gonna spend your $25, right? First one, athleticism. Okay. Second one is skill, being able to dribble, pass, and shoot. Third is size at position. Last is toughness. This is a tough one.
Ain't tough for me.
Me either.
All right. Tell me how you spending this money. When you ready, let me know. You ready, Coach Huey?
I'm ready, bro.
All right, what you got, Coach Huey?
Toughness and athleticism.
Toughness and athleticism. You spending how much money you spending on toughness?
I'm splitting it down the middle on both of them. I don't have to have the other two.
12.50 and 12. You can't spend 12.50.
Hey, bro, listen, man. He told you get a piece of paper, write it down.
Oh, man.
You got $25. You can't spend more than 10. You know what? This is why these things don't work with some of y'all, man.
So
You can only spend $10 on.
You only spend
$10, bro. So
You
you got to at least have 3, bro.
No, man, I don't need the other two. I'm telling you.
Let me have it.
who you gonna have playing
You
for?
can't spend $12.50. You can only spend 10 at one time.
Hey, he loaned me $5.
He got you.
One of y'all can take it. I don't need it.
He got Usain Bolt and Mike Tyson on his team.
That's it. That's it right there, Kenny. That's it. That's it. Because my toughness gonna beat your skill, and my athleticism gonna take your size out. I don't care. That's all I need.
There we go.
That's it. Y'all can have that change.
You know what? We got to have a new rule. When you ask a question and we don't answer, you gotta donate $10 to charity. We can solve some problems with y'all jokers.
Right. They don't like to answer the question, right?
Yeah, man.
Six, what you got?
I got $8 on toughness.
Mm-hmm.
$8 on athleticism.
Mm-hmm.
$4.50 on skill. $4.50 on size.
Mm-hmm. You spit it out. You don't went to the. You done got 50 cents. You done got the 2 quarters.
Yeah, man. I ain't go that deep.
Hey,
I have all the way down.
You know we have a national shortage on change, right?
Yeah. That's right.
I was afraid to do that. I'll probably spend like $25.25 like that. I ain't gonna do that.
Coach Q, what you got?
I got $10 on toughness.
Mm-hmm.
$10 on athleticism.
Mm-hmm.
$5 on skill.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why you got that 6'7" girl then?
Mind your business, bro. Because she tough and she athletic and she has skill. How about that? Listen, hey man, hey, don't be trying to what old boy say. Huey, don't be trying to mind my girl. I know what you're doing, bro.
All right, Coach Brooks, what you got? What you got?
Hey, look, man, I put a premium on skill. So
Okay.
I got $10 on skill. All right.
Okay.
I like when they can shoot it and they can catch it and they can pass it. I like skill.
All right.
I only spent $5 on toughness. That's because you didn't give me that much more. All right. But also, I wanted to be able to go to the other attributes. So I got $5 on toughness, $5 on size, and $5 on athleticism.
So skill is the number one piece.
Yep, skill is the number one piece for me.
Got it. We going. I'm really with 6 a lot. I'm going $8 on athleticism. I'm going $8 on toughness. I'm going I really would go $8 on skill. If I could get $8 on skill, then I can be 2 on size. So I'm gonna go $8 on toughness, $8 on athleticism, $8 on skill, well, $7 on skill, and then I can make up for the size.
Hey, my calculator, man. I think you went over, bro.
But that's good. That's good. So one of the things that we look at too, and I know you run into this, you get the track star, right? That can't put it in the basket, right? But then you get the the highly skilled kid that they taking the ball from her. So you in a catch-22. So you don't want that. So you want to make sure you gotta have a team of a lot of them. All right.
No. You get a track star and you call them push and pitch kids. They push it and pitch it. Get out their hands. They push and pitch kids. That's right.
And track star ain't gonna get tired. A track star gonna defend. Look, I had a girl that was a heptathlete in high school.
Yep.
She was all conference, and she scored about 4 points a game, but she was Deion Sanders on defense.
Well, shut your side of the floor down.
Yeah,
Shut down
in front of the press.
No
Hey, dog. I tell you, that's how I was with old girl. Man, Amenti Price is that over there with Yo at Ole Miss. She says that. Dog, I had to scout when I was at Alabama, and I'm talking about this. Coach Moody said, make sure you tell them do not pass the ball to her side. I said, we can't pass the ball. He goes, no.
No, exactly.
He said no. I was like, what you mean? He goes, you can't. You can't pass the ball over there. And I swear to you, so I'm like, all right, well, whatever. So I'm talking about it, whatever. Man, by the third play of the game, man, Latifah Joy Hunter, man, that joker had that ball. The ball was in the basket before I could even realize she caught it. I'm like, damn.
Exactly. I was at South Carolina, and Susan said the rule is do not pass it to her side. You have to dribble handoff.
Dribble entry. That's right.
DHO to her side. Do not throw the pass.
Yes.
Yes. I was just coming from the MEAC, and it took me to a whole nother level, man.
It wasn't it crazy, Huey?
It was crazy, man.
Everybody do it.
Pass it.
Everybody do it. Do not pass the ball to her side. And I'm like, man, stop it. You can't pass it over there, bro.
DHO to her side.
Speaking of Deion, talk about the head coach. He's the head coach at Jackson State University now. Talk about the impact that you guys think he's going to make on recruiting in that state over the power team, the Power 5 team, the Mississippi States, the Ole Misses in football. What type of change does he make?
AD, the first thing he had out, I don't know if y'all saw his Twitter, because I follow Deion on Twitter. The first thing he had on his Twitter and his Instagram when he got the job was, hey, I need somebody to help me find a house in the gated community.
I saw that.
You see that? They got 4 bedrooms, beachfront. I'm like, dude. He said, let me get my crib right.
Right.
He be talking. I was down to Deion stayed true to his colors. I think in a recruiting sex, it's gonna be, it's gonna be sexy for the first year, but he gonna have to win because you know how, guys, you know how it is, man.
No question.
You can get all these recruits, man. If you don't win, man, they're gonna stop coming. So hopefully he can get good enough players to win. I would like to see him be unsuccessful.
Yep.
Obviously, being a brother and having a good, and then too, the other thing that I respect about him, honestly, is that it wasn't a money grab for him.
Right.
It was not a money grab. He didn't pay $30,000 and gave all the money to his assistants and donated money back to the programs and stuff. I mean, people like, he bought the job. Who cares, man? He's taking care of people. Right. So at the end of the day, I hope he's successful for that aspect, so he can be able to take care of people for 5, 6, 7 years before he move on. That's the kind of guy that's there, either go to the BCS level or go to the NFL. So as long as he's there, man, you gotta there you go. You gotta right. You gotta hope he's successful so he can continue to help us.
No question.
But what I hope and what I think are two totally different. Like you said, I hope he's successful. I hope he's successful and he can do a lot of different things. Will open up a lot of doors for not only a lot of coaches that he'll bring along, but also for a lot of athletes.
Right.
To be able to go to school like that and be able to bring them up. But the thing I fear, man, is that guys like him, when I say guys like him, they're professionals. They've been professionals. They've made money. They've had things done a different way. They don't understand what we do. They don't understand the grind. Mm-hmm. They don't understand the grind that we go through to get to where we are to success. You all four of you guys, you're invested in your program. It's your livelihood. It's your life. And this guy, he's just coming in. I love Deion. Deion, one of my favorite players ever. But he doesn't understand the grind. And he's going to come in, and it ain't all about Saturdays. It's what you do, Monday, through Sunday, and dealing with everything. And you see it. Look at Clyde Drexler. Dude, he was in it, at Houston. Alma mater. And
really? Yep.
It was too much. It was too much. And so for Deion, okay, that their press conference, it was dope. They walked by. It was dope. Hey, it was cool. All right, that press conference over now you got Jackson State's facilities. I don't know what they are, but they ain't what he used to. No. And like Q said, he's looking for a 4-bedroom apartment a 4-bedroom house in a community. So I just think the grind is going to be tougher. It's eye-opening for them guys that are professionals coming in without understanding the grind, man.
No, I was so lost. Listen, I was so lost in the time. I was like, man, Babyface gonna put his hands on Deion. I ain't know Deion that very old girl. I was lost. I was like,
Tracy,
what is he doing?
Yeah.
Coach Huey, what you got?
I'm with Kenny because I was thinking the same thing because I wanted him because he had been coaching high school football up here in Texas and had his own school and training the kids and doing all that stuff. So he got a little bit of understanding of what the grind recruiting is like and all that kind of stuff. And plus his son, playing and all that kind of stuff. But the thing I was hoping he surrounded himself with people who've been in the business to do that. But Warren Sapp and T.O. ain't been doing that, bruh.
Is that true?
They ain't been doing that. And that's who he hired. He hired them as assistants. So again,
fake news, right?
I thought it was fake news, man.
Fake news.
Yeah, that was fake.
That's fake news.
Man, I was hoping so.
That they ain't going to Mississippi.
I'm telling you, man, because he got to get people around him that understand the grind like Kenny's talking about. Because again, just like he explained everything, and I don't have to go into it, it's a different grind, bro, what we do every day, all day. Now he got to worry about kids going to class, staying out of trouble, all that kind of stuff, man. In a COVID, it ain't even a regular year. So again, that kind of stuff, that it's totally different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got a question for you guys. All right, is he in a lose-lose situation? Does he walk in there, and if he is successful, and then all of a sudden here comes somebody from the BCS and they try to pluck him, all right, do people say that he should stay at Jackson State and help that program, resurrect, or do they get mad at him for leaving that situation because they gave him a chance? And then if he loses, then he lost, and they're going to get rid of him that way.
I was gonna say that it depends on the original question was, what's his definition of success?
Right.
Is his definition of success winning the SWAC? Because the expectation to people who don't know now is they think Jackson State gonna beat Alabama.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your definition of success?
Right.
And only Dion can answer that. And he doesn't. I watch him a lot. He doesn't appear to me, even though he's a successful guy. Obviously, he's a millionaire and everything. He doesn't appear to me to when I watch him interact with his kids as a guy who forgot where he came from.
Right.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean? So
yes.
He might be going there just to prove a point, just to prove that it could be done at Jackson State.
Mm-hmm.
If he's going there for those reasons, he could be very successful.
Mm-hmm.
But if they think that he's gonna be playing in the Sugar Bowl, that's not gonna happen.
Right. Now I do think what one thing you said, Coach Brooks, he win, they trying to pluck him now, right? Because it's gonna be money in having that figure as the figure of your program, especially with these, high profile coaches getting older. Now, you got the Nick Saban that's getting older. You got the, these high profile coaches, a lot of them are getting older. So if he is successful, they will try to come after him now. And if he does leave for a higher profile program, the people at or in that state or in that the fans of Jackson State may feel a certain type of way, but I don't think the masses feel a certain type of way about it.
No, the masses expect him to leave.
Right.
Yeah, they think he. I heard some people already got him slated to go to Florida State.
You guys think that's true? Like obviously, there's been a big push with a lot of the on the men's side, those guys going to HBCUs. And there's been a lot of push. Hey, Mikey Williams? I don't really know a lot about the men's side, but the kid who actually went to Howard. And a lot of people are saying, that's a good move, and to build our HBCUs up. All right, if Dion coming there, will those people say he used the situation? Because you're right. Sid. FSU keep losing to Georgia Tech, they gonna come out.
Right.
No question about that.
Right. So that's just what I wonder. And again, you can't please everybody, and everybody's gonna have their own opinions. Okay. Yeah, but those are some of the things that you think about.
Good. Well, guys, we done
Bruce,
come
no.
Here we go.
Nah, man. Come on, man.
Hey, so you guys, we get ready to start practice though. In a couple weeks, maybe about.
I don't care. We go in the morning. I'm good. What's up?
No, I'm talking about in a couple weeks, right?
Yeah, I know.
How are you guys, like Coach Q? How are you guys approaching this time now? Like, what are you doing as far as
12 hours?
Just, I want to say, laying out your weeks and your days for your group and making sure that they're not on their feet too much, or they on their feet the right amount of time before we go into the season.
I'm big on what I call foot contacts. I know and it's not as deep as it sounds, right? I'm really big on foot contacts. How many times my players' feet touch that court, running, playing, getting up and down, because I want to save their legs. Mm-hmm. So I'm very, very big on not having excessive foot contacts for ACLs, for stress fractures, for just fatigue. So for us, we're normally not on the floor for basketball stuff longer than an hour and a half a day anyway. Mm. We don't go long. I give my strength coach 45 minutes a day, every day. Mm-hmm. Mm. Because the way we play, they got to be healthy and they got to be in shape. and they got to be without, they got to be without training. So our strength coach get 45 minutes a day, and then we get, what's left over. So right now, with these extra hours, we didn't add hours to the days. We just added a day because I don't want my kids on their feet, too much. For hour 15, hour and a half a day, for me is it. And for us in our practice, we just structure our stuff differently. We'll go one day we go special situations, one day we'll go man stuff, one day we'll go zone stuff, one day we'll go we'll go OBs and our OBs and our side outs. We don't put those with special situations. That's from our special situations, like fouling up 3 long plays, stuff like that in the game stuff. I don't put that in that because for me that's not a special situation. That's part of the game. You can take the ball out of bounds a whole hell of a lot, right? Exactly. And then we're gonna work on our transition and our press slides every day. But that's it. That's all we do. So we break every day down to where we focus on one thing every day, and we play for like 20 to 30 minutes a day.
Oh, you guys play every day? Oh
yeah. Mm-hmm. We play every day because in order, Huey knows this. Just like shooting, you got to shoot a lot every day. If you're gonna press, you got to press every day. You got to defend and press every day to be able to feel that burn in your chest to get that conditioning, and they get that conditioning doing it. When they play, and we scrimmage every day with a 18-second shot clock. So I mean, they playing fast every day too. Yeah. So
you get your conditioning in through playing.
Absolutely, and then too our strength coach has them for 45 minutes a day, and this is the truth. You ask anybody ever play for me, I've never, probably in the last 5 or 6 years, ever been to a strength and conditioning session. I don't go because he's the head strength coach.
No question.
So I give him all the power, latitude, longitude, whatever. And some days he's going to say, hey, man, I need like another 15, 20 minutes. I say, take it. Because I know the way we play, they got to be in shape. They got to be healthy.
Right. Yep. Right. Yep. Coach Brooks.
Very, very similar. Like right now, we do a lot of individual stuff. I don't like to do a lot of coaching right now. I sit back. I let my assistants do a lot. But I don't want them to be hearing my voice in September barking at them. I want to wait until November before they hear it, because if you do it too long, they tune you out. In my opinion, I don't want them to tune me out. So we do a lot of individual stuff, and we'll sneak some stuff in. I probably got in maybe about 5 sets that we run that will have some counters to it. I have to make myself, today you guys have been proud of me. We did a lot of defensive stuff.
Look at that, man. Look at you.
I did it. We ain't running the pressing nowhere, but we getting down. We talking about philosophies and what we're doing, and then what we're gonna do. We're gonna give, now that we know the schedule, we're gonna give our kids a few days off next week. Really, relax and rest their minds, be able to come back, and then we'll start, getting after it. But like Q said, I have since I've been here at Virginia Tech, I've never been in the weight room while they're in the weight room. I've never seen them do a strength conditioning session, and I stay away from that. I got a guy who does it, and just trying to keep them healthy, keep them strong, and I'll start coaching them when we can put that whistle around our neck.
No question. Coach Huey?
Yeah, when they're with the strength and conditioning coach, I got my fat butt on the track. I'm trying to get the weight off. But we do have a coach there just to support our strength coach, just to clap them up and all that kind of stuff, because we want them to have a lot of energy in there. And everything in the strength in that weight room is fast. So it's 35 minutes. It's like we play fast, think fast, move fast, that kind of stuff. So that's our philosophy in there. But we give 3 days off. So we go Wednesday and the weekends right now. Going an hour and a half, and y'all know I got to have some film in there. So like our Monday and Tuesdays is film, and I picked that shooting thing up from y'all because Q told me if you ain't making 10 threes a game, I don't know what y'all doing. So we've been on that lately, man, trying to get it to where they can make at least 10 threes a game. So we've been shooting a lot with that. So
hey man, you better stop messing with Q. You can't be making no 10 threes again. That's hard. Hey, 10 threes is hard. Stop listening to Q.
10
Yeah.
for 47.
Hey,
Hey, at
Paul,
least you ain't turning it over, right?
and we've been that too. Trust me.
At
Yeah,
least you
man.
ain't turning it over. They be shot turnover, but at least you ain't turning them over, right?
That's right. They ain't live ball turnovers, baby.
Yeah,
We get back.
yeah, man. Q said get them up to that orange thing up there. It's round. Just get them up there.
Hey, go get
Coach
it.
Six, Coach
Right.
Six, you guys are getting ready to start figuring out when you're gonna bring your kids back, correct?
Right. And well, I was going to tell you that I met with the strength and conditioning coach today.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we trying to do some female coach, Veronica Johnson. She our head strength and conditioning coach, also played for me at AAU. We trying to do something a little different this year because Q, you be proud of me. I wrote something down you said too about the hour and a half. You know, we've had major injuries to multiple people the last couple of years. So we trying to do something a little different. He's going to try a little bit of functional training with them this year. A lot of plyometric work to keep their explosiveness and everything. Another thing Q said about ACL, because I done had a rash of ACLs. I don't know if it's the water here in the Hampton Roads area or whatever, but you know, we're gonna do a lot of hamstring stuff to try to protect those ACLs and things like that. And then we also gonna devote some time to conditioning every day. You know, letting them go with the strength and conditioning instead of going so hard and things like that. Because we've had a rash of injuries the last couple of years. So her idea of functional training, body weight training, things like that, I like that idea. So we talked about that at length today.
We used to drill a lot 3 years ago, and Coach Sampson came and watched me. And he said, Huey, your press look good. Y'all can turn people over and, all that kind of stuff. But I'm going to tell you something. You need to work on some offense, man, because he said the last time I checked, that scoreboard up there don't keep stops.
We keeping stops in practice. But that's scoreboard.
Huey.
Hey, Coach Q, I know you talked about it a little bit. Elaborate on those foot contacts, man. What got you into this? Because I know you probably would the same way when you started, where you had you were in there and you wanted to make sure they got in there and got better and grow. Talk to us about how you evolved and got into that foot contact theory.
Paul Hewitt. When I was at Siena, Paul Hewitt was the head men's coach at Siena, and they were very unsuccessful. And he was a huge walkthrough guy. Like, they didn't practice every day. Some days they just walked. Like Kenny would tell you, we walked through like crazy. Like in season, like honestly, man, the year we went to the Final Four, one of my rules is after Christmas, we have no contact in practice. Period. You touch somebody, you got to go home. Because at that point, you know who's playing, right? You know who's getting it done. So now at that point, it's better get to the game with all your with your full roster than to limp to the game. So after Christmas, we have no contact. And one day a week, that's our practice day, we do a walkthrough. We do a walkthrough, ice bath, whirlpool, massage, whatever it is, a recovery day with our strength coach. One day we scale all the way back. Because I'm going to tell you something right now, man. That thing is real, man, because I want you to think about, and we've all been there, when you've been in practice so long, how your legs get tired and you just walking around it and you coaching. Them jokers running. Right? Yeah. So the foot contact thing for me is huge. And then too, man, about an hour 20 in, man, I be getting hungry, man. I be gotta get up out of there. I gotta do something, man. You know what I'm saying? Because, our training table right by the gym. Kenny know how it is, man. I just found that bacon in the morning. Like, man, I get about it here, boy. Give me some of this bacon. Yeah, man. but nah, serious though, man. But that's big though, man. We have just like Six said. You start having the stress fractures, and the shin splints, and like that's just overusage, right? Yep. So so you have to try to find a way to do that, to kind of, you know, and I do it spontaneously. Like I go practice like one day and go, all right, y'all, let's go eat, man. We out of here. If you do it to your team, it's like you gave them it's like so much money. Like it's like what?
Mm-hmm.
But I have what I call burn days. I got 7 burn days in my schedule. I know this week I can take a burn day, so I can kind of reward our kids. I'm for doing some things right. So that's what we do. I'm really big on the walk. Man, the walkthroughs are key, man. I'm telling you right now. You can walk through the same thing. You can go through game speed and get enough work in, and really get some teaching in about spacing, about angles, about what you're really trying to get out of this play. Because think about it. How many times we done gone 3 more reps and somebody get hurt?
Yep.
Hey, you know what? You know what, Q? That the walkthrough stuff is very important. But you know what? As a head coach, and Huey, listen to this. You got to train yourself that it's okay.
Yep.
Yeah, sure.
Okay today.
Yep.
It's okay today.
To stop early and to stop early.
Yeah, you gotta train yourself, man. Because like we've been taught, we grew up where we go. You gotta work harder. You gotta work harder. You gotta work harder. But sometimes working smarter is better. And sometimes just letting them walk through. But like you gotta train yourself, because you'll walk out of there like, did I give them enough today? And you gotta let yourself know. I did. Like Q said, they walk through. You talk to them. They understand it, and then you reward them. Oh, they're gonna come back the next day and be ready to roll.
Right.
Pay me with a pillow. That's one of my things I tell me. Pay me with a pillow. Then you gonna lay down, bro.
Yeah, that's what they want. That's what they want.
That's right.
This has been awesome, guys. Man, Coach Huey, Coach Q, Coach Brooks, Coach Six, man, we appreciate you. I appreciate you guys for everything you do, not just being on the show, man, just for being who you guys are, for being a call away at any time. And again, this is episode number 10, man. So this is huge. This has been really good. We've been going 10 straight weeks, man, and we've picked up people along the way. I know, Q, you've been on here strong ever since you could be on here, man. And Coach Six, you've been strong on here, and we really appreciate all of you guys, man. And best wishes in everything that we got going on the rest of this week. If y'all need something at any time, man, just let us know. Let me know. All right? Y'all take care.
Be safe,
right.
man. Be safe.
Hey, listen, man. This sounds like a farewell speech, man.
No. We coming back next week, baby.
Hey, if you don't, I'm calling you anyway. I'm going to start it. So don't even start it. Y'all 2 weeks in. I'm 3 weeks in, bro. I'm ready to shop.
Let's do it. All right, Chief.
All right,
Y'all
y'all.
be good.
Good night, guys.
Relentless, don't wanna test us. We ball hard, wanna run with the best, you gon' learn your